Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, anyplace. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
Oh, yes, you will be. So, what do you got?
Happy Labor Day.
Well, happy Labor Day to you, too. You
This
don't even know
weekend.
what Labor Day is.
I'm sorry.
Let me just tell you something. My son was born on Labor Day one
He
year.
was,
And I was in labor. That's labor. That's Labor Day.
Well, as well as Labor Day weekend, what happens on Labor Day weekend? Every Labor Day weekend for the last
Labor Day weekend since
58 years?
I have been watching this since I'm a little girl. The
The entire 58 years?
I'm not born that long. Muscular Dystrophy Association, Jerry's Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis, the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Yes, always. 21 hours of, really, honestly, he was like pure genius with that. But did you hear? He got pink slipped by MDA.
I heard that.
They fired him.
Shame on them.
Well, we
Jerry
don't-
Lewis is the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon.
Do you know what? Do you know how long he's been doing this for?
Tell me.
Like you just said, 58
58
years.
years, yeah.
But 45 years he was out there as their public face. Okay? He was the host of their annual telethon. And I mean, amazing. Now he's not there, and they just do it for 6 hours, not even on Labor Day, but on Sunday night before.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? I think that's crazy.
He, as I said, he is a, what is that called? An icon.
And you want to hear something really horrible, what they did, how they did it?
Tell me.
Last year, okay? I mean, after everything, they just made a decision, MDA, Muscular Dystrophy Association, just made a decision and never even told him. Do you know how old he is?
I know he's old.
He's in his mid-80s. He's almost 85 years old.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
And he'd be there for the entire telethon because I remember every year he was always there, and he had some great guests always, and people just loved to help out with.
Mm-hmm. Listen, he's been doing this show since 1966. Okay, and actually been hosting it, okay, since 1952, that's where you got the 58 years.
Mm-hmm.
But and it was even before he was with, the guys in the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Your favorite guys. I know you like them a lot. But isn't that crazy?
I'm wondering.
The MDA board issued a press release, and that's how he found out. He didn't even know. I just think that sucks.
Shame on you, Board of MDA.
I mean, that's awful. That's awful. He's like an international phenomenon with this.
I wonder if they raise the same money.
Oh, I would doubt
way.
it. I would doubt it. I would absolutely doubt it. He was so incredible. Do you know, when you just say the term Jerry's Kids,
Oh, everybody knows what
everybody
that is.
knows it's muscular dystrophy.
Mm-hmm.
They're still Jerry's Kids.
They still are?
He was iconic, as you said, and amazing, and did everything he possibly could for those kids.
Yes, he did.
He donated so much of his time and money to muscular dystrophy, and I just think shame on them. And it's going to hurt them.
Yes, it
because
is.
those kids really needed him. And I'm sure what he will leave to them when he's no longer is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's given to the world and to all of us over the years, shame on them for doing that to him.
Yes. But putting that aside, just have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Weekend.
And be
There'll be a lot
safe.
of
Always be safe.
Always be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Be picnicking.
Yeah, picnics and listening to great music and just celebrating.
Yeah, fireworks. that kind of thing.
Celebrating though the oncoming of fall, which I love. We'll fall into fashion with us at Anthony Vincent Salon.
That's right. And we have a great show.
Of course we do.
Interesting show.
But why? It's because it's us.
Because it's us.
Of course.
A little bit later on, we're going to be talking about the man born without a penis.
Of course we are. Why shouldn't we be talking about that? Oh my!
It really is a very, very interesting story, and
And if not, we'll make it interesting.
we're going to find out all about him in a little bit later on.
Okay.
But for now, we're always talking about health and fashion and
Wellness
wellness
and yeah.
yes. But do you know that stevia will affect your hormones and your blood sugar?
Yes, I've heard that. I have to just correct you as I always do. It's
Stevia?
yeah, and sometimes people even call it stevia, but it's stevia.
What did I call it?
Stevia.
Stevia?
Yeah, stevia.
It's that Italian thing, It's like I could say what it is.
Stop it! I'm going to hit you with the wooden spoon. I started carrying a wooden spoon just for you.
Good for you. I'm so proud. I'm
Yeah.
so proud.
I carry those big bags. Well, now I fit my spoon in there too.
Yeah, I'm 40 years old, 200 pounds, go to the gym. I'm still afraid of the wooden spoon.
You should be, and that's why I have it.
I got no wooden spoons in my house.
I have one for you, though.
I got a hand mixer.
Look. Look in my bag.
I'm not looking.
See it? Yeah.
I'm not
It's
looking.
here. I got it.
So, how do you say it again? Stevia?
Stevia.
Stevia. Okay. So, whether you use stevia, stevia, stellia, stevia it's really a convenient calorie-free sweetener. And it really is naturally derived.
Yes, it is. And that's what people love so much about it, because it is natural and it's not like, and I hate to say it, the word, but saccharin. And they're not saying that it promotes cancer or anything like that, because it is derived so naturally, and they say it tastes good. I mean, personally, I think it has an aftertaste, but
Well, what they like about it is it dissolves easily. It is affordable. So really, lots of health-conscious folks really use stevia as that go-to sugar alternative.
But anything that's going to be a sugar alternative or even sugar is going to affect your blood sugar levels. Whatever it is.
Oh, right.
It's
We've
the
talked about this
conversation that
before.
we've had like with soda and diet soda.
Yep.
It's going to do exactly the same thing.
Yes.
People think that just because it's calorie-free, diet soda is not going to do anything. And we know differently.
We do.
It mimics.
And if you're a regular listener to Trend Radio, you will know it too.
Absolutely. What do we say? Water, water, water. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, stevia side, that is the bitter part of the stevia leaf. Mm-hmm. And what that does, believe it or not, it increases the death of cancer cells. We had a show a few weeks ago about how a new study found that these artificial sweeteners attack the cancer cell. And I don't want to go over that again. But,
No, we don't have to.
Yeah. But stevia contains antioxidants and other anti-cancer compounds.
Right.
And by removing sugar from the diet, what happens is the blood glucose can be normalized. And it helps those with
because you
obesity
don't-
or diabetes.
Yeah, you don't actually need, sugar to live, comfortably.
It
You don't.
it tastes good.
It
And-
does.
And you crave it.
Well, you only crave it because you're eating it.
Yeah.
Once it's not in your system anymore, you actually don't crave it. Just so you know. I mean,
yeah.
We've proven that with me.
And you don't get hunger pains either.
That's
Sugar gives you hunger pains.
That is true. But we're not talking about that right now. We are talking about stevia.
Stevia, right. Now, stevia, this popular health food, may not be as harmless as we think.
Okay, well, do share.
Okay. Well, stevia may cause underlying imbalances to hormones and blood sugar. But with that imbalance with hormones, we know how to make a hormone, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we don't pay her. But let
right.
me just ask you a question. All right, the blood sugar level, I think all of us really actually understand. I just don't understand the hormone issue. Forgetting about the paying, but what is stevia doing to your hormones?
Okay, let me take it from the beginning. Okay.
Okay.
Now, first of all,
See, he's a guy, ladies. He needs to take it right from the top.
and I work my way down.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Oh, yeah. Enough. Go on. Stevia, remember. Let's focus here. Stevia.
I've never got any complaints about how I talk about my articles.
How you operate?
How I talk about my articles in my studies.
There is no complaining there. You are the study man.
So there are different types of stevia on the market. People don't know this. There's green leaf stevia.
Okay.
All right, and that's essentially the whole stevia leaf. It's dried and then it's ground into a powder, so all of the natural constituents remain. And this is the way stevia is used traditionally in South America and Japan.
Oh, so we have like the refined version here.
Of course we do.
Of course we
and
do.
there are different refined ways.
So the good stevia, you have to fly away and
Yeah,
go
you
get
gotta-
that.
you gotta go.
But we have the bad stuff with us here in the United States.
And
course
this
we
is
do.
why, because traditionally the whole leaf ground and powdered is only 30 to 40 times sweeter than sugar.
Okay.
Now, there's extracted stevia, and that's the bitter tasting stevia side, where that's removed. And this version is likely to lose the health benefits associated with stevia.
That's the kind we have?
Yeah, it's like 200 times sweeter than sugar.
Oh, wow. Why? Why do we need that? Why do we have to have something that's 200 times sweeter than sugar?
I don't
Sugar is so sweet, and so are you.
Oh.
But why do we need to have that?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask the food companies. Ask the FDA.
Why? Why? I don't want to talk to them.
Okay.
I have issues with them.
Well, and worst of all, there is the chemically processed stevia.
And we have that kind too?
Yeah, they're the popular brands.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and what happens is the natural stevia is subjected to a 42-step process.
Are you
42
kidding?
steps.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and what they do is they create this highly refined extract using chemical solvents and GMO additives.
They're putting GMOs in something that's natural
Yeah.
and making it. Oh, Anthony.
Don't yell at me. I'm not
I'm
doing
not yelling. Do I look like I'm yelling?
No,
I'm
well-
disappointed.
it. What? Oh, that's even worse.
I know.
You want to get your kids to behave. Don't yell at them. Don't scream at them. Don't chase them with a wooden spoon. Just tell them how disappointed you are in them. They'll stop in their tracks.
Well, I
Anyway.
don't know if they'll stop in their tracks. But
Anyway, this chemically processed stevia, 300 to 400 times sweeter than sugar.
that is awful.
Now, and this is the problem. I'm just going to remind everybody. I wasn't going to, but the problem is that stevia tricks the adrenal glands into a state of hypoglycemia.
Well, I understand that, but that happens with
course you do.
any sweetener.
Yes.
Okay, any sweetener.
Yeah. Any artificial sweetener.
Yes.
Okay. And according to a clinical nutritionalist, Kate Skinner, she says that the body assumes that it's receiving sugar. So,
It reacts.
Yes.
As though it is.
yes.
Yes.
So glucose is cleared from the bloodstream and the blood sugar drops, but no real sugar or glucose is provided to the body when this happens.
Oh. So then what's it doing to us
Well,
if we're eating it?
Okay. Stevia may alter other hormones that play an important role in fertility and immunity.
And cancer also. Yes.
Now, stevia has been traditionally used as a contraceptive and has been shown to influence fertility in animal studies.
Really?
Yeah, now I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up. I don't know how stevia was used as a contraceptive.
I was going to ask you, and I thought you would know that.
Yeah, no, and I
He knows
should've-
about contraception.
Yeah, I do. I'm not, but I can't say on the air.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll tell Al later. Al, what's the best contraceptive out there?
Don't do it.
No,
Just say no.
So, anyway, so these studies have shown that it really breaks down the fertility in animals, and what you should do is you should opt for moderate amounts of raw honey or coconut sugar instead. You can use dates or bananas to sweeten up your recipes.
Absolutely. And even raisins. Raisins are always good too.
Yeah, raisins, dates, very sweet.
And you know what though? I know that you have even put a little coconut oil in your coffee.
I do.
And it gives it a tropical kind of thing going
Yes,
on.
it does. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. No, so that's really good. Yeah. Really good information there.
Yeah. Eliminate the stevia. Try the coconut. Mm-hmm. You'll be glad you did.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
You know, Obama's in the news again.
Oh, stop.
Well, you know, we don't talk about politics. That's
We
not
do
our
not.
show.
We do not.
And it appears as though Obama wants to ban trans fats. Oh, now, not
I'm
interested
sorry. Okay.
in the debt. Not interested.
How is
in
that
Iraq.
anything that? I'm sorry, but how is that anything he should be discussing?
Well,
I don't. Again, please understand, we are not discussing politics.
no.
But I'm just curious why the president of the United States feels he should just ban trans fats.
I guess trans fats has something to do with global warming.
According to who? Al Gore?
Yeah. And, you know, as a matter of fact, they're, again, not getting political, but
We are not getting political.
there was no findings that global warming is actually a real thing. So they changed the name. It's no longer called global warming. It's called climate change.
Okay.
You'll never hear anybody talk about global warming anymore.
Okay.
At least the politicians anyway.
Okay. Let's just get back on track
let's
here.
get back to trans fats.
So we're getting back to trans fats, which I'll be honest with you, it depends on the type of fat that you're ingesting because some are good and some are bad.
That's right.
For you.
That we know
that is true.
that coconut fat is very good for you.
Fantastic.
Olive oil fat.
Fantastic.
Good for you.
Avocado fat.
Avocado.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Fabulous.
But we're not talking about the good oils. We're talking about the bad oil and banning these trans fats.
Okay.
And what happened was that they actually snuck trans fats into our food supply back in the 1950s.
Well, you know, it's really not good for you.
No, it's not.
No.
I don't have a problem with that, but
I just think it's funny that it's reached such a level.
Well, they took out butter and even coconut oil back in the 50s, which are actually good for you.
Really good for you. Actually, I have to say something about butter. Butter is better. Okay, now I realize butter
Unless
is...
you're a butterface.
Well, we know a butter boy. But, you know, I just have to say, butter, it is delicious. And butter, it is very, very fattening. And I really actually don't really eat butter because it's not actually better for me to have because it puts on the pounds. However, what they've got instead of butter, oh my gosh, hydrogenized, all kinds of chemicals that looks like butter, but it's not butter. Mm-hmm. They say it tastes like butter, but it really doesn't taste like butter. It has an aftertaste, you know?
That's right.
So if you're going to have butter anyway, if you're going to have that, you may as well just have the butter. Don't you think?
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. The, butter, they were thought to be unhealthy. The coconut oil thought to be unhealthy, but things changed. They said that lobster was unhealthy. And if you had a heart issues, you shouldn't be eating lobster, but now you can eat lobster. Because of the cholesterol.
But you know what? The cholesterol in lobster is actually a good cholesterol for you.
Yes, it is.
Because it's a lean protein.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that some concoction spread in a tub with all kinds of words that I can't pronounce is better for you than
butter.
Than
it's
natural
not.
butter.
It's not. It's not. It's absolutely positively not.
But anyway, getting back to trans fats. These are dangerous laboratory concocted fats, also known as partially hydrogenated fats.
Yeah.
And they're added to processed foods to actually increase their shelf life.
And yeah, oh my gosh, that's like, okay, it's like embalming the food.
Yes.
Yeah, embalming the
That
food.
is excellent. That's an excellent.
It's the only way I can possibly think of it.
analogy
It's
there.
preserving. It's preserving.
Yes, and they also use these.
Like in a Twinkie.
Yeah, it stops the food from sticking to the equipment.
You know, you can see a Twinkie after a few years and it still looks like a Twinkie.
Yes, it does.
But an avocado, couple of days. You got a good couple of days there. Or a banana. Wait, the banana treatment. Remember with the rice?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
this was
I'm
funny.
going to give this test another try.
Okay.
You take a blackened.
Okay, wait. So I had this banana at the salon, and I left it, a couple of days too long, and it started turning black. And Anthony looks at the banana, and I said, "Oh, you want the banana? Nope, too ripe for me." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "But I have a magic trick. I'm going to show you a magic trick." I go, "You are?" He goes, Yeah. Call me tomorrow morning and remind me to bring in some rice. So he brings in a bag of rice and he puts the banana in the rice
Just like you would a cell phone after you drop it in the
to
toilet.
dry it out. Okay, so now tell everybody what happened to the banana.
Well, you take the banana out of the plastic bag where it's been in the rice for a couple of hours, and then you hit it with a tepid blow dryer.
And what's supposed to happen?
And the banana turns yellow again.
Okay, but what did happen?
Nothing.
It
Nothing.
turned blacker.
Hey.
It was like we were making banana bread.
That's
okay?
a comb I have in my hand, not a magic wand.
Yes. You are magical, though. You are truly magical. Don't feel just because you couldn't bring the banana back to life that you're not a magical guy.
Thank you. Getting back to trans fats.
Okay.
Over 80% of trans fats, come from processed foods.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there is no safe level of trans fats.
No. And there's no safe level. I mean, it's one thing, I'm going to bring back the Twinkie for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to eat a Twinkie once in a while, but that's all you ever want to do. You don't really want to have anything like that on a regular basis. It's just bad for you. Those hydrogenized oils, they clog your pores.
That's right.
Awful.
Yeah. And
And your arteries. Not your pores, your arteries. That's what I was saying. Your pores too, but
yeah,
your
if you
arteries.
rub it in your face, it'll definitely
No,
clog you.
because it actually, that's like when they say chocolate gives you pimples. It's not so much the chocolate. It's eating too much of these hydrogenized fats. They're in your system. They're clogging your arteries.
I don't know.
Bad
Can
for your
you
heart.
eat too much chocolate? I don't know. I don't think you can.
You could eat too much of it. I think so. I don't know. But yeah, all right. I'll let you get back.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So the trans fats have been strongly linked to heart disease and other illnesses in multiple studies.
Just what I said.
Yeah. Now, people don't know what trans fats are. And I've asked people, so what's a trans fat? They really don't know. So here at Trend Radio, where you get information that you don't hear anywhere else except 920 The Voice, Trend Radio.
Yes, and if you need
10
more,
a.m. every Saturday morning.
If you need more information and you have a question, you can just reach out to us at trendradio920@gmail.com, and we'll give you any information you need
And a gift certificate.
for $50 to Anthony Vincent Salon.
Anyway, trans fats are an industrial process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils. This makes them more solid.
Ew,
Yeah.
that's gross.
That's what they do. And manufacturers use them because they're cheap, they're simple to produce, and they last a long time.
Wow. I have to tell you something about cheap oil afterwards. We have to discuss this.
Okay.
It's really important.
Like on air or just between you?
No, I don't have to. I've told you this, but I think our people need to know this. It's very important.
Okay.
Because you're talking about this right now, so they need to know when they go out for dinner
Oh,
and lunch, they need to know about the different oils
okay.
that are being cooked
So
with.
we'll bring that up before
Yeah.
we finish the segment.
We will.
Okay. So, as you know, many restaurants use them to deep fry foods. And as oils with trans fats can be used over and over and over in a commercial fryer. And
How gross is that?
Well, typically, French fries, cookies, chips, frozen waffles, frozen food, and crackers contain from 30 to 50% trans fatty acids.
That's disgusting.
If you know this stuff, you won't eat it.
Yeah. Well, I don't eat it, but I do know.
I don't eat
We
chips.
don't eat that.
Yeah, I don't eat that junk. So, anyway, since 2006, the FDA has required food manufacturers to include trans fats, the trans fat content per serving on the food label.
Yes, and that is true. So we actually know exactly what they're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you now if
But
you
do
eat it.
we really?
Well, they say it. They label it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, listen to this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Now, Cheetos and Oreos have eliminated hydrogenated oils on their own over the last couple of years.
They have?
Yeah.
Really?
So Cheetos and Oreos, no hydrogenated oils in their product.
Oh wow.
Okay. But Pop Secret microwave popcorn, Sara Lee cheesecake, everybody doesn't like something, but nobody doesn't like Sara Lee. And I really love their cheesecake. I didn't know there was...
I know something you won't be eating.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be eating anything
I'm not eating
from
Sara Lee anymore.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That was great.
So, Pillsbury Grand Cinnamon Rolls.
Oh, the cute little guy.
Yeah, they're still using the fake fat.
How could they do that? With the time that we are in right now, why would they do that?
Well, here is the kicker.
Tell me.
As of today, a label can say that the product contains no trans fats when there is, in fact, 0.5 grams in each serving.
How can they say that? They're given permission to put in a certain amount without recording it, without putting it out there?
Ask your congressman. They allow the FDA to do this.
Wow.
FDA isn't here for your protection or my protection.
No, I know.
They're there to protect the big food companies and big pharma.
Yeah. Really fast, I want to just say something about oils.
Okay.
So we were at a Greek restaurant. A group of us went out for dinner to this new kind of local Greek restaurant. And we love Greek food. I know
Yes,
you do
we do.
too. Yeah, we love any kind of ethnic food. So we're just eating and everything is delicious, and we get our salads. We had some appetizers, they were delicious, and we get our salads and there's no dressing. So, and there was no olive oil on the table. And, they gave us pita, but no olive oil. And you like to dip in the olive oil, and olive oil is so good for you, and you want the olive oil on your salad. So we asked the waitress for some olive oil, and she says, "Oh, we don't have any olive oil here." And we all just kind of gave her this blank.
How could a Greek restaurant not have olive oil?
That was the look on our faces without actually saying it. And finally, my mouth. I'm like, "What do you mean? We're in a Greek restaurant." And she said, "My boss thinks the olive oil is too expensive, so we use vegetable oil."
Are you kidding me? This isn't our favorite Greek restaurant.
No.
Okay.
It was a new little place that we went to once.
Once.
So we're just sitting there, and we kind of didn't want to eat the rest of the dinner because even though it was delicious, it was wrong. And here's the kicker. Okay, here's another kicker for you. With us, we had one of our friends who's Greek. Who actually kept saying the entire time, the food's good, but it tastes different. There's something off and I can't quite put my finger on it. Well, that was what it was. There was no olive oil in the food.
She should have told the owner in Greek about
Let me
this.
just tell you what she did in Greek. We didn't understand her, but we knew what she was saying. She actually didn't say anything to the owner because the owner was not there. But everybody else who was there, who could understand the language, knows that we will not be back. And that's a wrap on that one.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got static? Does your hair fly away? Prioritize and winterize. Spritz your hairbrush, comb through, and now you're ionized. Say hello to beautiful.
Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. And now, a money moment with our very own DC Alexander.
And the financial voice for baby boomers, New York Times bestselling author of Money Doesn't Grow on Trees, Neil Godfrey.
Listen closely.
You'll be glad you did.
Welcome to Fun with Finances. I'm financial advisor Dina Cobran. We're wrapping up our 5-part series on financial guru, trendsetter, educator, and speaker, Neil Godfrey. We've learned so much about you, Neil, and you're banker turned financial educator for kids, writer, speaker. You've had absolutely an amazing life so far, meeting and helping all kinds of people around the world. Can you share some of your favorite memories with me?
Well, basically, even what I'm doing now, I've been for the last, probably 5 years or more, been working with wounded warriors and their families, and I'm helping them to become entrepreneurs. And I have to say that's very rewarding, working with our heroes who have served the nation and to come back and they can't do what they thought they could do. And now the idea of helping them to reshape their lives and using financial literacy to help them and their families to start new careers. And we even had one of the women who was one of the people that we worked with go on Shark Tank, and she won.
And you are also a spokesperson, correct, for some major brands?
I've been a spokesperson for major brands, in the past. So I got to work with Bill Gates at Microsoft and people at Fidelity and Aetna and lots of different places. So it's been kind of cool.
Yeah. And what else is next for you?
Well, what we're trying to do is get grants to study the effects of gamification on teaching mathematics to second graders. So we're working hard on continuing financial literacy through the new means of communication through gaming. And I think that, our goal is to crack that code, because if we can engage the children and make math come alive and not just teach them to memorize, that I think that we're going to have something that's really pretty powerful. And obviously doing this on a global basis. My books are translated into about 20 different languages, and money is a universal language. That is what connects us. So I'm also working with a company called Drive Wealth, and they have an online situation where millennials mostly can start trading, and they're giving access to people in China and around the world to trade in the U.S. market.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. You had told me about that. I actually signed up for that, and I've been sharing it with my Mom's Money Matters group, and they were really interested, and I'm sharing that with my children and trying to get them to invest in the companies that they like, such as the gaming, as we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's relatable.
Exactly. And you know that millennials have had a lot of pressures on them in terms of not being able to save because they have exorbitant debt and they've been underemployed, and it's very, very hard for them. But the fact of the matter is we need to help them save.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, for sure. But, before we close, a final piece of advice for parents and a shout out to kids and their finances. What do you want to say to them?
Don't make money the biggest secret within the family. Talk about it. Talk about when you're spending it. Talk about when you're saving it. Get the kids involved in it and consider it the business side of your life. And let the kids grow up with a healthy attitude. We fight more about money than we fight about any other issues. Say to the kids, you're working hard. You've got, pressures on you. Explain to them. Just don't say, it's none of your business. Go away. Talk to them about this. Let them grow up to understand what money can do and what money can't do. And make sure that you're getting them involved in charity and giving.
Right.
And money is also about sharing and how lucky they are that they have something to share with somebody else.
That's amazing advice, and I couldn't have said it better myself. And it's been a real pleasure, Neil, having this conversation with you. And I thank you so much for being a part of my series, Fun with Finances on Trend Radio. I'm Dina Cobran, and 920 The Voice.
Okay. I have been putting this subject off for some time. It's nothing new. It's been around since the time of Hippocrates and was first used in America as a birthing aid.
Oh.
And then a birth control method.
Okay, what is it?
Feminine wash.
Okay.
Douching. Do you douche?
Do you?
I've been called a douche many times.
Okay, we're getting very personal here, Anthony.
Yes.
But and I'm going to be very, very honest with you, Anthony. No, I do not.
Well, thank you for that information. You know,
But here, I asked you a question too.
I don't know. Can guys do it?
Yes, they can.
I don't know how to get that.
So basically, what you're saying is no, you don't.
No.
Thank you for being honest. Okay, let's talk about it. If we're going to be talking about it, let's talk about douching.
Alrighty.
First of all, let's do this so that everybody can understand this. What exactly does that mean, douching?
Well, I know that a douche in Spanish is a shower.
Okay, but
So-
the word douche actually originates from the French.
Meaning shower.
Okay.
And also in
It
Spanish.
means to wash.
To wash.
To wash.
To wash. Okay. Okay, so that's why it was promoted as a hygiene tool in the 1800s.
Okay.
In fact, douching became most popular from the black market birth control industry.
Really?
Yes. They were sold undercover at Tupperware parties.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yes.
Like in the 70s?
Perhaps. But it started in the 1800s.
I understand, but I wasn't there
So
in the 1800s. I was, however, around in the 70s. That's why I said that.
Okay. Well, even the nurses at Bloomingdale's promoted douching.
Ah. Well, I guess at that time, it was known to be a good thing. I don't think it's really such a good thing, though.
Well, it was actually before the 70s. It was like the 50s and the 60s.
Okay.
Because until the birth control pill was available to all unmarried women in the early 70s, the doctor started to tell people that douching is not only unnecessary, but it's potentially harmful.
Yes, it actually can be very harmful.
Really?
Really?
Okay. So douches were actually mixes, and basically water and vinegar, or water and baking soda.
Yeah, I always knew about the vinegar and water douche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, today the makeup of the douche really has changed. It includes fragrances and other additives, which are not healthy.
I'm sure
and
they're
this
not.
is why the doctors...
I'm sure they're not. I'm sure it's really not. I mean, I guess, vinegar and water, how bad could that really be? I mean, if you think about it.
Well, what it is, if you think about it, vinegar is really very, very healthy. And what it does is it balances...
It balances the acidity, yeah.
Yeah, in your body.
And your pH balance, true.
Yep. So,
but I don't know. I mean, as far as, I have a problem with the way vinegar smells. So I would probably have an uncomfortable feeling about, honestly.
See, and I love the way vinegar smells.
Yeah, it's nice on a sub, but I don't know if I'd want it, actually, and I hate to sound crude, but I don't know if I'd want it between my legs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta just say it.
Well, it was very, very popular, but ineffective as far as birth control. So
it was ineffective?
It was ineffective
well,
as
yeah,
birth
because
control
it's a cleanser. It's not necessarily, that kind of cleanser. It's a cleanser, though. That's why if you don't want to have a baby, use a condom, and take birth control pills. I don't think douching with vinegar and water is going to, it'll keep you clean, but not that clean.
Well, so then what does it do and what could it be used for?
Well, according to the study in the Alternative Daily, it's meant to keep the vagina clean, to reduce odor, to cleanse yourself after menstruating, and to avoid sexually transmitted infections, which, unfortunately, if you're promiscuous, that could happen. And
so you mean I really need to start douching, even though I don't know how?
I'm not going to even discuss this with you right now. According to MedicineNet.com, it is estimated that between 20 and 40% of American women between the ages of 15 and 44 douche on a regular basis. Half of them do it weekly. So,
Well, I had an old girlfriend that I wished would have done it weekly.
did you drop her too?
I did.
Great. Anyway, today, most physicians advise against douching. And the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists also note that douching can be a very unhealthy practice.
Only if you're using those store-bought ones.
Well, that is true. But basically, according to them, the vagina is much like a self-cleaning oven. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. It takes
There's
care
an
of
old
itself.
joke. Wait a minute, can I tell my joke?
You want to tell your joke while I'm talking about a vagina? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the vagina is like a self-cleaning oven, so
That's
go ahead.
right. That you have to warm it up before you put the meat in.
Oh, that wasn't in the study. It takes care of itself, and it works hard to keep the vaginal flora balanced.
Well, let me tell you, this gal that I dropped did not smell like a flower.
As I was saying, the vagina has both good and bad bacteria. And once the bacteria is thrown off balance, which can happen while douching, once it's thrown off balance, infections can happen. And if you douche when you have an infection, it can push the bacteria up into the uterus, the fallopian tubes, and the ovaries, creating so many issues. Definitely not something you want to deal with. I mean, basically, would you use Lysol on your private parts? I mean, would you?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's lemony fresh, but I wouldn't.
So then I guess when you douche with a number of today's popular products, many of these fresh scent douches products actually contain additives and stuff that'll irritate the sensitive lady part linings.
Oh my God. These irritants and additives can hurt the sensitive vaginal lining.
I said lady parts. I can't say that other word.
And completely disrupt the bacteria balance.
That means the good bacteria and the bad bacteria.
Well, it just means the balance. And once you're off balance, you can have an infection. So basically, ladies, you know what? Really, I mean, keep yourself clean, of course, but you don't necessarily need to stick up all these irritants and craziness just because you think it's the right thing to do, because it's really not. They're saying it's really not.
Yeah, most of those products are just fragrance and water.
Yeah. And some of these products can be very questionable. You don't know what they're using.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got dry and brittle? Squeeze a little protein pomade into that parched mane. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back
We are.
to find out more about the man with no penis.
Yeah.
And what's even more interesting is he kept it a secret from his girlfriend for a year.
Now, how is that possible?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, of course you know. How did he do it? Because I think we're all in the want to know here.
Alrighty. Well, his name is Andrew Wardle. He's 40 years old, also known as the man with no penis, who was still able to have sex with over 100 women.
Now, here's the thing. I understand that, because just because you don't actually have a penis or have, you can still have sex, because sex is an act, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's only intercourse. And I can understand that, but how did he keep it a secret from her visually for a year?
Well, I think you're going to have to ask Frida Fabian, his 25-year-old girlfriend.
Okay.
He's 40, she's 25. Okay. I want to shake his hand.
I want to understand. I just want to know. So tell me. And I'm sure everybody else wants to know also.
Okay.
All right.
he initially told her that he had a kidney infection every time she initiated sex.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay. I don't know that I would be. Well, she's young. Okay. She's young.
And he even went as far as to say that he had a microchip in his kidney so she wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Oh, boy. Oh, my. Wow. Okay. And he did this for a year?
And even after she moved in with him.
But let me ask you something. Okay. You know, when you become intimate with somebody, and even though, okay, so she would never go near it because she thinks there's a microchip. Okay. But what about, you know, undressing and showering and going to the bathroom? Simple things that people do every day. And when you're intimate with somebody, you kind of, you know, see their bodies. So she never saw his body?
Well, maybe he had the lights off. Maybe he turned
There
around.
are shadows. Why would he turn around, though? That's the thing. Then that's weird. Okay, so I just don't understand how he did this for an entire year.
Well, she allowed the sexless relationship.
Okay.
But, you know, but she took it all in stride.
Okay, and so now, tell me now.
Okay, well, you know, sometimes, you know, it's hard for women to tell their men that they're unable to have children. So imagine how difficult it was for Andrew.
Oh, it must have been really horrible.
Oh, it was
for him.
awful.
Really horrible, and living a lie like that. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I mean, and I understand believe me, his concern and discomfort and worry and fear. I mean, I understand all of that with him because let's face it. I mean, that's a really big deal. But for her, I just don't understand how. And I understand she's young, but how she didn't see him for a year. You know, that I don't get. And you know, I'm just curious, what happened to him? Why doesn't he have one?
Well, okay, I'll explain. Okay, he's actually undergoing several surgeries to take blood vessels and nerves from his arm and skin to build a penis.
Oh, wow. That's incredible that they can do these things. But why doesn't he have one? What happened?
Okay, I'll let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
He was born without it. It was a special disease that he had.
Oh, how sad.
Yeah. It actually is a very rare condition, and it's called bladder extrophy.
Bladder extrophy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Wow.
extrophy or extrophy.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's actually very, very sad.
Yeah, and it's a very, very rare condition, and he was actually chosen to star in a special Discovery Life documentary.
Wow.
And what the documentary did, it followed him over the course of a year as he finally confessed to his friends, his family, his former love interests.
His family?
His family didn't know. And,
But his parents
his
obviously
parents
knew.
did. His parents did. And he
Does
wanted,
he have brothers and sisters?
you know, I'm not sure because he was actually adopted.
Wow.
His real parents gave him up.
Well, I will say this. Those people, his parents who adopted him with this situation, what an amazing couple they are.
Oh, yes.
What amazing parents. Not only was he chosen by these people, but they raised him knowing that there is going to be quite an emotional roller coaster for this young guy.
Oh, and a roller coaster it's been.
Oh, I'm sure. What wonderful people he has to call his parents. How beautiful is that?
Yeah. The you know, I guess the worst part was, you know, telling, you know, his former love interest that the secret that he's been hiding for decades.
Yeah.
And,
which is probably why nothing ever worked out with these women.
That's right.
But this girl, Frida, she's an incredible lady.
She loves him.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously she does. I find it amazing that he was able to actually hide this for as long as he was. But I have to say
40 years he
yeah,
did
no,
it.
that's amazing. But I have to just say, what an amazing girl she is. Good for him that he found somebody who loves him, who accepts him, and is going to go through this with him. That's incredible. I could cry. I'm all teary and misty and everything because this is quite a big deal.
Yes, it is. And the documentary is actually showing him undergoing the various procedures and and meeting other people who suffer with the same condition. He's not the only one.
Of course he's not the only one. Oh, it's amazing. How incredible is our technology now that we can do such amazing things.
Yeah. But
and give people a wonderful life. That's lovely.
The awful part?
What's the awful part?
Well, Discovery has decided to scrap the hour-long special.
No, why would they do that?
I don't know.
Why would they do that? Well, you know what? Do they actually have access to this? Because they can put it anywhere. They can advertise. They can put it on YouTube. They can put it anywhere. I understand that it's quite emotional, but people are in the need to know.
Yeah, well...
Discovery should be shame on them.
They're replacing his segment with a rerun called Body Bazaar.
That's a shame.
But TLC plans to pick up the show on their network.
I was going to say, isn't somebody else going to get it? Fabulous.
Of course, yes.
I love TLC anyway.
I do too.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's some of the things that that I was able to find out about Andrew Wardle.
Tell us.
Okay. At birth, he was diagnosed with a rare condition called bladder exstrophy. And from infancy, Wardle's bladder was growing on the outside of his body.
Oh, is that what the situation?
Yes.
Okay.
And after 15 surgeries, doctors managed to correct the issue.
Oh my gosh.
So
that poor child growing up that way.
Well, he didn't know any better. Didn't know any different.
Of course he didn't know any better, but that's not the point. It's still very sad. It's not, it's not being given the normalcy that every child really honestly deserves.
And so anyway, now that the bladder is on the inside of his body where it belongs, he was left with no penis.
That's such a shame.
Yeah.
But now they're going to be able to try and fix this.
Yeah. Yes. Now, I told you that he was adopted?
Yes.
Okay. After giving birth, Andrew's mother decided to give him up.
And that's because of all the issues?
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Now, he was taken in by a woman named Pam, who had been a nurse in that hospital.
I love her.
And helped deliver him.
And she adopted him?
Yes, she did.
She's an amazing woman.
He was raised by her and her husband, Mike.
They're amazing people.
Mike and Pam.
Oh my gosh. They're incredible.
Now, as he grew up and he developed into a man, Andrew found that his body did develop testicles without having a penis.
Okay. All right.
So he had the testicles. Maybe that's why he could have,
sure,
maybe he just they just thought he had a little one. I don't know.
Whatever they thought, it doesn't really matter anyway. Because let's face it. I mean, this is quite an amazing story.
And despite having no penis, he claims that he has always been confident with women.
Well, good for him, as he should be.
Yeah, he had lots of girlfriends, and he said that...
Well, he's a good-looking guy.
Yes, he is. He's good-looking. He said that hitting on girls helped him to fit in, and he went from girl to girl as a way of coping. Never having sex with them, of course.
Sure. Well, because right when it was about to get serious, that's when it would end.
You're absolutely right.
And so that's the sad part, because he never got over that hurdle, except with Frida, which is a beautiful story. And that, when I think about them, then I get misty, misty-eyed, because, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. For years, he managed to, avoid being being intimate with any of the partners.
But, that's so crazy because, like you just said, avoiding being intimate.
Yeah.
And that's such a crazy thing.
Right. And he didn't share, his issues with any of the girlfriends in details about his condition.
Well,
but
he probably chose Frida because he realized she was the one.
Yeah.
And when you find the one, you do whatever it takes to keep that one.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it took till you're 40.
So, well, it was finally the time. When the time is right, the time is right.
Yeah.
Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
with these 100 girls that he's been with, he really developed ways of avoiding the issue. And he came up with a lot of different strategies so that he wouldn't have to have sex with these girlfriends, including ending the relationships before it got too serious. And he says that he compensated his girlfriends in other ways.
So sad.
Yeah. Frida is from Budapest, and they both met while they were working at a holiday camp. And she said that she was drawn to him right away.
So sweet.
Yeah. And they've been dating for like 3 years now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It really is. I'm so happy for them both.
Now, the doctors are very hopeful that they can eventually give Andrew a fully functioning penis.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the technology is incredible.
Now, Wardle's team of doctors, they're currently looking into a complex and painful new surgery that would give him a working penis for the first time in his life. And the surgery would involve taking skin from his forearm and using it to construct the sex organ.
Oh, so forearm, foreskin. Very good.
Yes. And the penis will operate using a special pump that'll need to be inflated before he is able to have intercourse.
Well, let me just tell you, any amount of pain will be well worth it when this man can consummate his relationship with Frida.
Mm-hmm. The medical team would like to have this procedure done by 2016.
Well, I wish them all the best, all of the luck, and all of the happiness that they deserve.
Yeah, and he's really cool. He's not, letting himself get too excited. He says it would be nice to be able to discover new things with Frida in the bedroom, but, he's not thinking about the final outcome yet. He says if he puts any expectation on it, it could be a huge letdown. So he's just taking it as he comes.
No pun intended there.
Mm-hmm. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo, and your personality is your business card.
And how you make people feel, that becomes your trademark.
And don't forget to tune in to us next week, where we're going to talk about Sardinia's secret to longevity, genetics, diet, and lifestyle. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.